Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, doing well, no complaints till now. And what
Uh,
about
so, th- uh, yeah, I'm looking forward to today. I'm going to watch a movie,
you? Oh,
and I have been looking forward to it. And yeah, I wanted to chat with you. So this was another, highlight of my day to have a conversation with you. So thank
so
you for joining me.
are you watching a movie in theater or on OTT
Yeah,
platform?
yeah, we are going in theaters today.
Oh,
Actually, we are going to rewatch it. It's Tumbar. It's a horror
yeah,
movie. I
I
have,
know. But
yeah,
now I
I
feel scared. I feel scared watching that movie again
have,
because
I it is not that scary actually. I have watched it a few times. I think three or four times. It is one of my favorite movies,
oh no.
and I was really happy when I found out that it is re-releasing, and finally it is released in my town. So we are going today. So first of all, thank you for joining, and I have been looking forward to this. I watched a
Yeah,
few videos of yours, and I really like the way and your profession too. You are an English teacher, right?
yes, yes.
So
So yeah,
I have got a few.
I would like to know about yourself a little bit of because we are
Sure,
making.
sure. I'm very new at this, so I don't know how to do everything, right? Well, my name is Roshan, and I am from Bihar. To
Okay.
pay my bills, I work in a school. I recently completed my graduation with English honors. I love
Oh,
reading, watching movies, and playing cricket. Now that I have created a YouTube channel where I talk about books, movies, and this kind of videos, conversational videos. So this is from my side. And what about you? Introduce
that's
yourself.
great. That's great. Glad to hear from your side that you have pursued your BA with English honors. Uh, it's quite interesting. And yeah, my name is Aarti Chobe, and I'm connecting you from Madhya Pradesh. And if I talk about my profession, I'm a teacher, as you know very well. And in graduation, I was a science student. Mathematics was my subject, and I master's in English literature. And after that, for my professional qualification, I pursued master's in education. I am a trained master trainer of British Council also, and I am a member of State Resource Group for giving trainings, for providing trainings, arranging trainings for the primary teachers as well as middle
Mm,
teachers. So
that's
this is all
great.
about.
And I want to start talking about your journey as a teacher. So should we start
Journey.
about that?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Why not? Uh,
I have a personal question before we talk about your journey. It's not very
Please.
personal, but have you ever taught in a private school?
Yes, of course.
So, I was recently into a private school, but because of
Okay.
some reason, I had to leave it. And
Oh.
some, I was there for almost a year, more than a year, around 13 or 14 months. So the students were quite attached to me.
Mm-hmm.
And before leaving that school, I told them that, surprisingly, on my last day, I told them that this is my last day. I had
Oh.
never told them that I was going to leave. So there was a kind of scene, I would say they were really emotional. And I didn't know that they were that much connected to me. So have you ever been into that kind of situation?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Recently, only, yeah, I must tell you from right from the beginning that I'm a teacher by my passion, not
Mm,
by a chance. I love
mm,
teaching. It's my passion, you can say, and it lies in my heart. So earlier, while I was in class 12th, at that time there was one small school of my friends, and she asked me that if I can teach for 1 or 2 periods. I said okay. So I realized my passion at that time that I was so much engrossed in teaching them that not
mm,
only one period, I don't know, I think till lunch, starting from the
mm.
morning session till because there were only two teachers and three
Yeah.
or four classes were there. So we are just making to sit them combinedly. So I
Mm,
keep on teaching, I keep on telling stories, I keep on telling them the concepts, then the question answer,
mm,
and we all were really very much engrossed. Then my
mm,
friend says that that was her mother's school, a small
mm,
school in 1 or 2 rooms like that. So she said that Aarti, when you are teaching, then none of the students come out for drinking water and for going for the toilets and all that. So
mm.
how do you keep them just so much engrossed in your period? Then I said
Yeah.
I don't know. And that time I realized that really there is a teacher inside me, and definitely I'll become a teacher. And then after, I started I went to one coaching for learning this spoken English, and
Mm.
there the teacher, he appointed me as his co-partner. So
Oh.
again, at institute, I was the co-partner with my master,
Mm.
and I started giving lessons there also. And by that time, I was very fluent in this language. And then
Mm.
when I got married in my BSc first year, second year, so
Mm.
suddenly the teaching, it broke, and then I joined one of the convent school here in my
Yeah.
in with when I was living with my in-laws. It was a convent
Mm.
school, and due to some reason, again I have to leave that school. Then when I went for the admission of my elder daughter, there I
Mm.
was conversing in English. So they called me, they proposed me as teacher there. So in this way, my
Mm.
journey, it keeps on going, and every time I was a passionate teacher. So, and after 2 years, I had to leave from there. And in 2001, finally, I got selected for this government sector. And
Mm.
recently, I got promoted to the high secondary school. So again, I have to leave
Cool.
that school where I was teaching. The
Mm.
students till last day, they didn't know that I'm going. They only think that I generally used to go for trainings, for workshops, for all that
Mhm.
kind of. So they are in the impression, my children, that ma'am will be back very soon, and she has
Yeah.
gone to attend some workshop like that. But
Mm.
when they finally realized, there were so many messages that, ma'am, we will do as you want, but please don't leave
Uh-huh.
us. Who will teach us math? Who will teach us
Mm.
English? And who will
Mm.
prepare us for the dramas, for the role plays? Because my
Mhm.
teach altogether based on activities. I just
Mhm.
don't give the concept simply, I mean, just verbally, but I make
Yeah.
them to understand through the role plays. So this was the way of one of my teaching. So they are very much they want to learn from me everything, but God has
I
different
think
plans for
because of your
them.
style, they must be really attached to you, right?
Yeah, so this was all about me. Yeah, I worked in private schools also, and there was times when when we leave one school, if we are a good teacher, if we live in their hearts, then definitely they feel
Mhm.
very sad for us, as it happened with you
I
also.
think there is some network issue, but now we are going to just continue where we were talking, right?
Yes, yes. We will
You
merge the
talked.
we
Yeah,
will
yeah.
merge
Please.
both the videos. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were talking about your passion about teaching, and you said that you didn't become a teacher by chance. But let me share my story. I had to pay my bills. I'm when I was in second year of my graduation, my mom
Mm-hmm.
told me to work, and I thought that I can teach
Mm-hmm.
because your story about being in a spoken class where the teacher gave you that stage to teach, something similar happened to me. I have
Mm-hmm.
always been interested in stories, and that's how I was able to grasp this language. I was able to comprehend whatever somebody was talking, but to communicate with people you need to talk, right? So
Totally.
when I was in class 11th, I had joined this spoken class where this teacher always used to invite me on the stage. And,
Mm-hmm.
there was enough freedom for me to express my thoughts and even to teach sometime. So this is how I got introduced to teaching. But it was by chance. It was not my own decision. So in my second year of graduation, I joined this school. So my question was, how do you deal with it, that emotional attachment with the students?
Life is all about going ahead. It's
Mm.
never, we can't move back. So this
Yes.
all things I made them realize, and
Mm.
I explained them. I was with them for 2 to 3 hours at that time. That
Mm.
beta, this is what we called life.
Life. Yeah.
Everyone has to move ahead, and the same
Mm.
thing will happen to you also. And don't think that I am the only one who was teaching you like that. Maybe the teacher who will come in my place,
Mhm.
he or she will be more experienced, more dedicated, but they all know
Mm.
one thing, that ma'am, in government sectors, none of the teacher is like that, those who are teaching with such a dedication and such a
Mhm.
devotion. So
Mm.
that's why we are worried. Then I
But
one thing more I told them, that beta,
mm.
see, this is the time, this is the high time when I should move further, because
Mm.
I've been teaching you since from 19 to 18 years. I was in the same school,
Yeah.
dealing with the students of pre-primary.
Mm.
Sorry, yeah, pre-primary. And now I have got a chance by luck that I should
mm,
get promoted, and I must work with the
mm,
elder students also, with the younger students also, so that
mm.
I can realize their feeling, their thinking, what they think, and they are
Yeah.
to become the students of 21st century. So I want
Mm.
to give them some message from my side. So
Yeah, and
only six
there
to 7 years.
there must be
are-
something to learn for you too. I mean, to move from that class to a different class, right?
Yes,
So I think some of my students will be watching this video. So I want you to share a message, regarding that they will find good teachers. It's not that I'm the
of
only one
course,
who can teach them English, right? As you talk that in government school, they hardly find a teacher like you explain. But times are now changing. People, I think, are taking teaching in a different manner, like
different
what
manner.
what they used to be. But I think things are changing now. So if somebody is watching from my school, I hope they are going to watch it. So can you please suggest something to them to not worry, they will find teachers.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Right now, because the younger generation, those who are coming in this field, they are having a motive behind there. Because teacher,
Yeah.
they must always leave a legacy behind them. Not that just
Mm-hmm.
coming and going in the periods. Apart from that, also, there is a saying that average teacher tells, a good
Mm,
teacher explains, but the best
mm,
teacher motivates. And
mm,
motivation is that fire which once is set in the hearts of your, in the minds of your students, it
mm,
works like a spark, and it
mm,
accelerates them. And you can't just then you can't channelize their energy when once you have sparked uh, that chingari, कहते हैं ना कि वो
that
यदि
is.
एक बार ignite हो जाएगी ना,
Mm,
the ignition point, if you
mm,
have put the pressure on their ignition point, and once they
mm,
started burning, then see where they can break the mountains also. So I
yeah.
believe in that thing, that
Mm,
if I'm in a class of 50 students, and even if one or two students can motivate what I am saying, then
mm,
my teaching is, it is I get success in my teaching in that
yeah.
particular period. So in each
Yes.
and every period, I just want to ignite that fire within them. And just you think about the faces of your parents, that you are
Mm-hmm.
sitting here gossiping, talking, not paying attention to what the teacher is saying from here. And
Mm,
you have to pay for this, because your parents have sent you here, and they chose to work hard because they are sending you
mm,
here. And if you're not paying heed to what the teachers are saying, then you have to regret after that, and then you can't move back.
yes.
Life is
Yeah.
set like that, you have to move ahead. And then when you
Mm,
will, then that thing will be in your hands, only the regression is there. So don't
yes.
wait for that point to come in your life. Study hard.
Yeah, I had a similar kind of situation. I was not a good student in high school. I used to make fun of my teachers. So I have got a lot to learn as a teacher. I think I became a teacher not by my choice, but by because of my circumstances. But I think I'm taking it in a different manner at the moment. I feel like I have to work on myself, not just my subject, but the way you are supposed to teach somebody, right? It's not just that you go and start talking about the text. As I teach
Yes.
English, there is a lot to talk, right? So apart from school, what are you into? What are your hobbies?
That good question. Yeah, I have many hobbies, you can say. I want to learn this dholak. I play dholak
Dholak. Yeah. So you are into
whenever I
music.
am. Yeah, I listen to music also. I'm very much fan of listening these old songs of
Mm,
17s and 80s. And I always win in Antaksharis whenever it is
mm.
within our team. And whenever I went to some Mahila Mandal, all that. Today also at 3 o'clock, I am invited at two places where I had to perform Garba for this Navratri. And
Yes,
there is one
yes.
kitty party also. And there,
You are a busy
because I
person.
love dancing. I love dancing. I love playing dholak. And besides this, I love anchoring. So
Mm,
I always keep on preparing some good lines and
mm,
learning them by heart, so that whenever I get chance, because every time, 3 or 4 times, I see that I am getting the chance of anchoring just, by by chance, you can say, or I am not prepared for that. But
mm,
suddenly some says that, okay, now Mrs. Chobe will address. Then
mm.
I just keep on thinking what to say, what to say. So now I'm keeping handy all those notes, some different types of sayings and all that. So in case if I get a chance, my husband says like that. You must be
Mm,
always ready with your weapons. So whenever
mm.
get you get a chance, because chances are opportunities and chances, they are God given, I think,
Yeah,
and
you
they
have to be
test you.
prepared.
Yeah, they test you that
Mm.
whether you are waiting for it or not. And really, if you are waiting for it and you are prepared with it, will just rock.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you keep on thinking what to say, what not to say. I see many teachers, when the stage is there, they tremble,
Mm,
and they having so much of stage fear. On the 5th of September, it happened like
mm,
that. The students, they called us one by one on the stage, and then
mm.
they said that you have to say something. So some teachers
Yeah.
sang the song and just came. Some teachers, they say, no, 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 I can't speak. I can't. Why I can't speak? You are teaching in a high secondary school. Daily you are
Mm.
motivating your students, so those things you have to say. And but I said everything very positive note. I given them, and I've given them so many suggestions also, that what they must do in their life.
I think public speaking is not for everyone. They are not ready for the exposure.
Ah,
They are
yes.
scared of the outcome. But I think you are only gonna get better because of the exposure, right? The more you go
Ah,
on a
yes.
stage, the fear will you will get used to that fear, because no matter how many times you have been on that stage, there is always something inside you that will say negativity, that will stay negative, that what's going to happen next, and this thing is very similar, I think. But right now we are comfortable enough to talk to each other, right? But this is going online and people will be watching it, so I find public speaking and this session kind of similar, right? And it's really
Yes.
fascinating how we as human, we are ready to express ourselves. We love stories, right? And yeah, on that point, you have been an English teacher. You are an English teacher, and you have been an English student too. So, what about stories? How do you see stories in general?
Stories are, I think, on my personal, it's just my personal opinion, that
Mm,
every teacher must start a class by story, a small
mm,
story. And I do
mm,
that every time I do that. If whether the story is in Hindi, sometimes if I don't
mm,
remember the story in English, then I start
mm,
my class with a story, little story,
mm.
whether it is in Hindi or English, I don't mind. But yeah, that gives a good start to your class. And
Yeah.
with that story, that the students, they all engrossed and they all are, connected with you. And then you
Mm,
can just beat the hammer, whatever you
yeah.
want to teach. That in that story itself,
Mm.
it works like a hook. It works like a hook in your class.
Hmm. Stories
You
are
can
very
get their
important.
attention towards you. Yeah. So stories are really very important, very interesting, and
Mm,
they are the from time being, we say that stories are the part of education only. Earlier, our gurus, in the ashrams also, and the
mm.
same things, the Upanishads, the Shastra, they were teaching in the form of stories only,
Yes,
because
yes.
there was no method for no
No
things
written
for
written
writing
things
it.
was there, right? It used to be orally. I think in
Or
almost every religion, oral
yes,
culture was there. So,
yes,
what about your reading? Are you into reading?
yes, yes. I love to read, and right now I am reading one book. Let me show you. It is
Yes,
with
yeah.
me in the Saturday night, and on Sundays. I
Hmm.
just keep myself busy in reading. So this
40
is
Rules of Love.
Elif Shafat. Yeah, Elif Shafat.
Yes,
Have you read it?
I have heard of it, but I haven't read it.
Oh my God, you must read it. If you are a voracious
I,
reader, then I would
hmm.
suggest. So
Yeah,
this
at
is
the moment, I'm reading
this
White
is
Knight
about
by Pure.
this is about to end now. Only this
Oh,
much pages
cool.
are left, and
Hmm.
tomorrow or by today itself, I'll just complete. So
At
yeah,
the moment, I'm reading White Knights by Fyodor Dostoevsky.
why
He
is it French writer?
Fyodor Fyodor Dostoevsky. He's from
Oh,
Russia. He's a Russian author.
Russia.
Yeah,
Okay,
I have been reading Russian literature. Anton Chekhov, Leo Tolstoy, and Fyodor Dostoevsky for the past
okay.
3 or 4 months. This is what I have read. So
Oh,
I think our conversation has gone past 20 minutes. I have so many questions to ask, but if you are willing, we can continue it. Is
but
it fine with
that
you?
that much long video, people they are reluctant to watch longer videos.
Yeah,
So if
their
you are
attention span is messed up.
yes, now their attention span is only for reels, only for 1 minute.
Yes, 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 yes.
So if anyone is choosing to watch such videos, that means he is a passionate learner of that
Mm,
language. So he choose to watch that much long video. Otherwise, now the
mm,
patience level of the viewers are of only 1 minute.
mhm. Last
More than
question,
one.
then we will
Yep.
wrap it up. Okay.
The,
Please suggest something for the viewers. How can they improve their language, especially English?
yeah. So if anybody is having a strong why before learning this language, definitely he can come up with, as you said, that you have also learned this language. Everyone can learn. Language is not difficult, and the four skills are must to practice every day. That are
Mm,
LSRW: listening, speaking,
yes,
reading, and writing. So
right.
you must must make a set of all those four with your
Mm,
practice. Like daily you have to listen, daily you have to speak. Even don't worry for the mistakes, because mistakes are the stepping stones, and you will confront them, you will meet them while your journey. But don't get scared, and don't just leave those practices. It will
mm,
happen, and it shows that you are doing something good. So it is a scale by which you can measure that earlier I was speaking like this, and now I have
mm,
overcome all these obstacles, and now I am a fluent speaker. So don't
mm.
worry, every fluent learner is once a beginner. So try all these things passionately, and definitely you will be a
Yeah,
fluent learner.
I told that it was the last question, but I have two more questions. Then we will wrap it up. All right. Uh, which is your favorite task apart from out of those four things you mentioned, LSWR, the four components of this language? Which is your favorite?
My favorite is writing.
Writing.
I always put down my thoughts, and
Yes.
everyone should do that.
Yeah. And you have been into teaching. So I want to know if you could travel back in time, where will you go and do you have any regrets? And then we will end this session. Go on. Take your time.
I would definitely, this is a very good question, and it is near to my heart.
Mm,
I would love to be back during my post graduation days, at that time when I was doing my MA in
mm,
literature. And
mm,
so my teacher was very good, Geeta Raval, Sheila Raval,
mm,
sorry. And she taught me the literature in such a wonderful way that today
mm,
also I remember that Hamlet,
mm.
Macbeth,
By William
as you
Shakespeare.
like it, as you like
Mm,
it. And some
mm,
of the stories, they are very near to my heart, and the way
mm,
she explained them
mm.
was very, interesting. So I would like to live that period of my time if
Uh,
I want to go back.
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Definitely.
Bye.
Please take care. Okay, bye.
Take care.